All right, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to Trade Talk. If you're new, if you're not, welcome back. Excuse me. We're going to go over some price action setups today. We got a little bit to discuss, as last week the Fed was talking about tapering. This week it seems as if though they're walking that statement back. You couple that together with the fact that the vaccine got the Fed's stamp of approval. So you're seeing the S&P 500 hit all-time highs. Friday, we were watching this asset to see if we did get a small correction on it. We were watching this ETH level up here, this supply zone. But the best part of this strategy is if you're waiting for daily closures, then you would have known not to take this position, right? Because you did blast right through that without even stopping. And now you're closing it. You closed yesterday at all-time highs. Today you are stretching out a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, really. I mean, if you look at the history of QE, when it was on versus when it was off, every major correction, except for the COVID back in March 2020 and the Chinese yuan devaluation back in August 2015, every correction that you've seen since QE was started back in 2008 has basically caused the correction or the raising of interest rates. So with Jackson Hole right around the corner, we have to be wary of taking any positions, especially to the upside. I mean, do you want to buy markets at all-time highs when there is discussions of tapering, when there's all this other stuff going on? Not really, right? I don't want to buy in front of that. I want to hear the Fed taper. That's what everybody wants, or that's what needs to happen. But will they or will they not? Chances are they won't, as they don't want to see a massive correction. They don't want to be the cause of it or the blame of it. But this is good news. This is good news for Bitcoin. If the Fed stop buying back their bonds, then the bond prices are going to stop rising and people are going to stop investing in bonds. They may start to look at other assets to invest in. Used to be that would be gold, but now that we have Bitcoin, we shall see if people decide to do that. So here is the daily on the S&P 500. You can see 44.87 spot 80 all-time highs. Yep, there we are. So did not get the correction that we were looking for. Maybe that's next week. Maybe it doesn't even come. This is why we wait and let price tell us what our decisions are going to be, which is a fantastic way to trade these markets. So last week you seen the dollar with a nice big, the last couple weeks had a big strong bid coming into these areas up here. This is resistance. This is where retail's getting short, right up there, right? This little line here, that's where they're watching. This day right here was, here, let me delete all these lines. This day right here was the day that did it, right? This right here, boom. Big bearish engulfing candle to the downside. Then you have nothing Thursday. Looks like you're going to see continuation to the downside, and then you do get that continuation candle to the downside. We were watching this ETH level right here. Once you got this big strong push and a close above that level, you are now shifting your attention towards bullish targets, right? If you fail here and you start to roll over, then you look for shorts, and you're only looking to take out the previous lows, which would have been this bearish candle here. All right, but since you got that closure, we're looking to take out bullish, are sitting above that wick high. If you stretch it out and go over here, you will see this swing high right here. Give me 1 second as my mouse is doing this stupid thing again where I can't control it. It's a new mouse, so I don't understand what's going on. So here you go. That is the ultimate swing high. That is March 31st, 2021. So early into the year, January is when this thing turned around, went up and put in that high and then retraced. So that was the high of 2021. You took that out right there. Boom. Big nice push to the upside, and here you are. You're seeing that price action get retraced a bit. So usually when you see price action like this, you have to start gearing up and getting ready for the opposite direction, as basically what transpires here is when price runs up into all the stop or these highs, then basically that triggers a ton of willing sellers at a higher level, or I'm sorry, willing buyers at a higher price. So if big funds want to sell into those buyers, then that gives them the opportunity to. So when you see this these little taps above clear old highs, right? When they're absolutely clear, like this one was sticking out like a below it until we ran up to it. Price turns around because those sellers or those buyers get triggered and they sell into the buyers. And you get price action like this. The thing is, though, is we don't know what's going to go on. So we will keep watching price. As long as price is in an uptrend, how do you know it's in an uptrend? Well, you can simply put a trend line on there if you want, like that. That's simple, easy. Trend line is good still. You get a breakdown below that, then maybe you can start looking for short side setups. Until then, you have to kind of wait, right? It does look like that trend line is wanting to get breached right now. Let's go over here to the daily and look at the 50 RSI, as that tells us who's in control. As of right now, the bulls are still firm control of this asset. Here is your moving averages if you want to look at them. The only one that's up here is the 366. That is a massive long-term moving average. This is a daily chart. So, yeah, a pullback we're looking for them, right? You can't just keep running straight up. You got to get corrections, and pullbacks also offer up opportunities. So we will see if this becomes another opportunity to get long. I am still short on the Euro USD from last week. Let's go look at that. So right here in this section of prices, when I got short on this big bearish day here, right there, that's the day that I got short. And basically you can see that price is coming back up close to my entry. Now I already took profits. 2/3 of the position was taken off as soon as we hit low of day, just below the low of day, and now that position is still running. I wanted to see if this thing would continue to the downside. You are coming back up into old support that did not hold as resistance. You did get a strong daily close above that. All right, your last support or would have been there, then here, but that's the support we were looking at. And yesterday you got a big strong close above that. So we're going to be watching this level at 1.17206 to see if that level holds as support in today's price action trading event. Let's see what happens, right? I'm still looking for shorts. I'm not looking to long this just yet. Like I said, it's in a downtrend. The bears are in firm control of the asset, so you don't necessarily want to look to take bullish positions while that's going on. But if you think that the Fed is not going to taper and you like the fact that the vaccine is got the Fed's stamp of approval on it and you're looking for bullish price action, then you can watch 1.17206. See if that level holds on a daily closing basis. As long as it does, then you can look for longs. I don't know what you would target. I just don't, right? This thing is in a clear downtrend. Has been since May the 26th. Can we see a bullish pop and a bounce? Absolutely. But I probably wouldn't even start to get bullish like for the longer term until we got over this swing high up here, way up there, back up above 1.19, right? We get back above that level, then I might be looking to target longs back up to 120, 121, something like that. But until that happens, I'm going to have a short side bias on this asset. We have bearish targets down here that have not been touched for a very long time, and I can't see price just leaving without at least taking those out. Can it do that? Absolutely. There's nothing that says the price has to go down there to 1.16 to take out that low. I just assumed that it would, right? If price was going to head higher. So this looks like a massive double top on a bigger time frame. What's going on here? I'm probably dropping a ton of frames. Yes, I am. So lovely. The internet is not working so good this morning. But anyways, so yeah, it looks like we're looking for shorter term. We're gonna look to re-engage those short positions. Let's go over here and look at Aussie yen real quick, because Aussie yen had a big day. There you go. Thank you very much. Big day, right? Pulled up yesterday all the way back up to 79, above 79. 79 is a big figure. I was looking to see if 79 would hold as resistance. It did not. Your close was above that, and you are seeing bullish continuation today. And what is going on? This is very, like, I've never seen the internet this bad before. It's stuck. Great. Let's go. Here, let me try something real quick. See if we can get this thing moving along. Let's close that down. Close this down. And did it work? No, it's stuck. Come on. Jeez Louise. It's like back in the dial-up days going on here. So Aussie Yen had a big, strong day yesterday. Real strong. Just pushing up. Took out multiple resistance levels. This was a resistance level that we had our eye on. It was the tallest resistance in an hourly closing basis. You can see when price did trade up to it, it was creating a sort of like a resistance. You can tell by the wicks above, getting bearish candles. But this is the thing. How do you know when not to take a short in this scenario? You don't take a short in this scenario when price is closing on a higher closing basis. So what I mean by that is here's a resistance level. You can see how this wick pierced it but then closed below it. All you have to do is wait for 1 to 2 more hours to see what goes on. Next hour closed above, right? So you know you're not looking to short this just yet. Here are your bearish candles in the mix coming up to the level of resistance. But look at your bullish candles, each one with a higher close. So basically this tells you that the momentum, price's momentum is moving harder and faster towards the upside. This is what you want to see when price trades up into a resistance level. You want to see it get an automatic rejection. And a big rejection like that is beautiful, right? Then you know that you have a clear signal. The price treated that level as resistance and it rejected hard. Now, you will still sometimes on the occasion see price continue up, and in those occasions you will get stopped out. This is why it's so vital that you use very good risk management skills, right? Risk no more than 1% on any single trade. As when you are learning to become a trader, you want to become a profitable trader, but you must understand that this is something that occurs over a long period. You don't just wake up tomorrow and be like, well, I'm profitable now, so I'm rich. It doesn't work like that. So small positions this way, if you do get stopped out on them, you are fine. We did not take any positions yesterday. We were watching Euro USD for a possible short, but like I said, it was not acting like it was going to be a short. In fact, yesterday morning, right around the time when I like to look for these positions, I basically told the chat that it was probably going to be a long. Let's get back over here on the 5-minute chart. And let me see if I can find exactly what I was looking at. So right here is where we were. Let's get rid of this stuff. Yeah, so that red line is where I had basically a line in the sand. You can see prices turning around there now, but you may be able to see this get pulled back and take out that level. But for now, let's talk about yesterday's trade. So if you take this thing out a little bit and mark off the low of day. So there's the 20th and there's the 22nd. So this is the market open. Thank you, Aaron, for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate that. Or the super sticker. You can see that's the low of day and price is making, right, higher highs and higher lows. So coming into the Asian session, here is the London session right there. Boom, low of day. Remember this. Let this always sink in. The London session usually puts in the high or the low of the day. Not always, but often. And just knowing that alone, you can build a profitable strategy around that. Low of day, put in at 3 o'clock, the London Open. So basically, here's the London Open. Price trades up, makes a new high on the day, pulls in, right? Pulls in here. So at this point in time, price looked like it was going to head lower. Traded up into a 5-minute ETH level right there. There was also an hourly level real close. Price traded down, and then here is your tell. This is your signal right here. Big, strong, bullish candle. It doesn't matter that it's a 5-minute candle. It tells you everything. This candle took out resistance, right? This strategy is you can apply the same principles on every single time frame. Here is your break above 5-minute resistance right there. That's your last swing high. Okay, you should see bearish continuation if this is going to make a new low of day. It would have traded up into one of these areas and reversed. Could it have reversed after taking this out and this out? Yes, but what are the chances of that? What is the likelihood of that? If you're making new high of days, you know what I mean? You're on the wrong side of the trade if you're looking for shorts. So here's another example where I did apply fibs. All right, here you go. Low of day, London open, boom, right there. Okay, here is your 618. Now, I didn't look at it here. I watched it when this happened. Price traded back down. So make short, yes, this is going to be a turnaround. This is a double top, but it's not. You have a break and close above resistance. Here is your push down. This 5-minute candle is going to be your support. Here's your wick into it. And you traded in this area for about 25 minutes. And then here's this big bullish candle. So when this candle happened, that's when I spoke in chat and said you're probably going to see a new high of day today. There wasn't a trade to take because the high of day was only 12 pips away. If this would have been 20 pips away, excuse me, we would have taken a long position on the USD targeting the high of day. But there just wasn't enough reward for the potential risk that would have had to have been taken in order to get in the position. All right. Plus you're in a downtrend. So when you're in a downtrend on the daily, it's best to look for shorts, obviously. This way your chances are better, right? You want to put all the probabilities in your favor when you're taking positions. You want to be on the side of the trend. You want to be on the side of momentum. All these things, put all these things behind you and pretend like you're the sailboat and the trend and the momentum is the wind that's pushing you forward. You want to capitalize and be on the right side of the market, and those chances will come generally when, you take those higher probable setups in the direction of the trend. So I'm not looking for long positions on the Euro USD just yet. You can get all the way up to the 50 on the RSI on the daily and still turn around. You can even get above it and turn around, right? You can even get above it and turn around like we seen on the British pound a couple weeks ago. And here's another scenario where you got above it and then you turned around. So once we got above it, we were looking for bullish entries on this asset until the bears won out. So now we're looking for shorts, and it's been moving straight down ever since. So here's a 4-hour chart. You can throw a little trend line on this as well, just like basically what I did on the dollar just a second ago. Well, it would probably help if I actually got a trend line and brought it with me. So it looks like you've already taken that out to the upside on a 4-hour basis. All right, so you can keep an eye on this trend line if you want. If it holds support, you can look for longs, but I would only target that wick high right there. I would not be looking for much more than that because you are trading against the trend. All right, USD CAD, big strong down. This is CAD strength and dollar weakness at the same time. CAD had a fantastic day the last couple days thanks to oil getting some wind in its sail. There you go. Boom. Straight up back into a 4-hour Heath level. You can see you closed above it. You closed right on it. Right on it with this big long wick to the downside. This is indicative of a closure like that. And it happened right at, well, no, I don't think the close happened at 9 o'clock, did it? That candle closes, at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock is when you closed up at the line. You traded sideways at the line for the most of the day, and then now you can see after the London Open, you are pushing up higher. This asset is in a downtrend on the daily as well, so we're not looking for longs just yet. We're not getting our hopes up just yet. You can see where we traded down to on the CAD yen, all the way down to an old level of resistance, 84.628. That's what caught that wick there. And now you're trading back up. You can see that the momentum is not extreme as you're not even back into the 50 yet. All right. And I don't have much else to talk about as far as what I'm looking at yet because I haven't looked at any assets this morning. Pound yen looks like it's going to be a red day. This thing is also into resistance. There is a daily Heath level right there. Looks like that's keeping this thing down. Let's go look at the hourly and see what's going on. Yeah, this looks like a short intraday. Let's see here. This is going to be hourly support. This is that daily level right there. This is an old hour. And this is intraday price action there. So you can watch to see, as long as you're not closing above one spot 37156, you can potentially look to take out that low of day. That low of day was just put in a little bit ago, and that gives you 25 pips. So it's not a massive move. 25 pips is nothing for the pound. Nothing for the pound. All right, so let's see what happens there. Let me read the chat just in case this stream loses it, because this yellow thing that says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming error could cause me to get jumped off. So good morning, everybody. I'm on my mobile. Is that a cucumber? Yes, that is a cucumber, also known as a pickle. My intentions were that was the Fed is in a pickle. It's in a slight pickle this week. It has some choices to make, some very difficult decisions. Yeah, I'm assuming that the stream is in terrible quality because the viewership went up to like 60 and now it's down to 19. So apologies for that, guys. Maybe Thursday it'll be better. We'll see. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. A lot of good mornings. BTC, USD, I'm about to go to bed. Yeah, let's look real quick. BTC, I was on the right one. BTC. BTC looks good today. Yesterday I had a slight correction. People they're afraid that Bitcoin's going to roll over here. And it's in a spot where it absolutely could. Here's daily resistance level. You can see that you pulled back yesterday, but where did you close? Yes, you closed above it. So yes, good job, Bitcoin. That is your first daily close above resistance. That pullback yesterday is just a pullback, right? That's going to be bullish targets for today. $50,500 bullish target. The hourly chart looks good. There's daily support right below at 48,785. So it looks good. Right up in this area here is where that 618 retracement level is for the main leg to the downside. So you've got a little bit of room left on that. But Bitcoin looks good. It looks constructive. Like I said, if the Feds if they do continue with QE, if they do stick on it and continue through it, you will see, you can see, I should say, Bitcoin get a rise out of that simply because people are hedged. Bitcoin's been around for a very short amount of time, but it has a better return on investment than gold. If you look at Bitcoin's entire lifetime, it has a 200% yearly rate of return. So year over year, if you bought Bitcoin on inception and just held it, you would have achieved 200% year over year annually ROI. It's insane. And that's very attractive to investors. Investors like to double their money just as much as we like to double ours. So yeah, Bitcoin is the best asset to do that. Bonds and gold moves at a snail's pace. So Bitcoin looks good. I like Bitcoin where it's at. Absolutely do. I'm not looking for any new long positions until we get above $54,000. It's just because that's where the 618 is, and I do believe people will sell there. But if the people keep buying it up, man, Bitcoin's going to make new all-time highs. A lot of other crypto assets already have. That's because Bitcoin dominance is low compared to alts. But at the same time, if alts are making new all-time highs, it's only a matter of time before Bitcoin does the same. Now, that can all change, obviously, but right now you need to be bullish on Bitcoin. More bullish than bearish. More bullish than bearish. It's easy if you watch the RSI. If you just watch that, it's easy. Here are your moving averages. That's also easy, right? Simple strategy for you. You're above the 50 on the RSI and you're above the 21 on the daily. You're looking for bullish entries, right? That says that you're bullish. If you get a daily close below the 21, then you can exit your long positions and you can wait for another support test and hold, higher low support, and look for new entries. Use the 21 as your entry and exit method if you so choose. You can clearly see, on the daily, this thing will put you in pretty decent trades. On the weekly, even better, right? Longer term trading on the weekly. Buy on a 21 down here back at $10,000 and you rode it out all the way to 46,000. Not bad. A 4x. All right. And all you had to do was watch the 21. As soon as you got a weekly close below it, you're exiting your position. There you did. You exited your position. Look at the size of these candles. They are getting smaller. right? The week is still early on this one. It's still early, but you're into weekly resistance. You're at close to the 618. You're also at daily resistance. There's a lot of stuff for Bitcoin to get above here. If it does break out, it could be a pretty good size breakout. So just keep Bitcoin on watch. Keep it on watch. I wouldn't be looking to buy it right where it is currently, but it does look good for long-term hodls. Yo, what is up? What is up, Aaron? Thank you again for the super chat, my friend, or the super sticker. The Agile Leader, good morning, my friend. Hi, Heath. I know the channel is for scalping, but could you tell us how you manage stop losses for long-term investments? Thanks for the content you put out. Yeah, my long-term positions, I move a trailing stop up. It depends on basically what is my goal. For Bitcoin, I don't have a stop loss. For Bitcoin, my money that I have in Bitcoin is tradable money, right? It's money that I can afford to lose. So I keep adding to it on red weekly pullbacks. So on Bitcoin, I don't have a stop loss. But on like my long-term holds and stocks, I have a trailing stop loss. And basically, you can just keep the 21 weekly as a good inference. Like, let that be your trailer. Let's go over here to the S&P 500. And let's put on our trailers or your moving averages. That's what I found that moving averages are best for, is for hodl positions, right? You close a weekly below the 21, you're exiting your position. As long as you don't close below that, you're holding it, right? You're holding it. So on the weekly breakout over here, had you bought it, there's a breakout, you're looking for support. Support came at a weekly Heath level, more so than it did the 21, but also it did at the 21, right there, right? Here, let me stretch it out. Apologies, I keep forgetting about mobile users. All right, so here we go. Right, there's your resistance level. This is a weekly on SPY. That's your all-time high right here. So here is your all-time high break and close above resistance. Here's the all-time high break and close. Big strong week. Then you got some upside to downside. You're looking for a pullback. Here is weekly support, aka Heath level, aka demand, order block, whatever you want to call it. There's also a 21 exponential moving average on the weekly. That was a good spot to catch support, right? Now you did get a close here below it, but in this situation, since it was so close, I did just keep an eye on it, right? Just keep an eye on it. See if you can tell if it's going to be or not. The daily is going to show you real quick where the momentum is, and it's to the upside. It's very unlikely that you're going to get an all-time break on the S&P 500 with QE, with the Fed telling you, hey, you guys should invest because I'm buying up assets. We're going to continue QE. That's a buying signal, and it's kept you in the S&P 500, and you're still in it. So that's a good trailer or something. Use the 21 weekly for stop losses if you're in long-term hodls. Let's go over here to Tesla. That's another one of my long-term hodls. Currently, I am out of Tesla. I got out of Tesla over here, and I have not added to the position yet. It's looking like I'm getting ready to start doing so here in the next couple weeks, right? I'm going to look for this thing to hold support around $665. If it does, I'm going to put on some more risk on Tesla. Not a lot to start with because it's at highs. I don't like buying assets at highs. I do not like it. I really, really hate it. So that's what we're looking for on Tesla, 662 spot 20. There's your weekly EMA, 21, right under price. You're even above 50 on the weekly. So, I mean, it looks bullish. It looks bullish. This was set on a daily. There's a breakout. And, yeah, there you go. So, looks like it's going to go higher. There is resistance right above us. But, yeah, you can use the 21 EMA, or you can look at the 50 on a daily basis if you want. No strategy or no indicator is going to maximize profits, right? Everybody always wants to exit at the top. But here's the thing. You don't know when the top's going to be. Nobody does. I would love for a man to show me when the top is in and how he knows it's the top, right? He can't do it because he physically just doesn't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And since there is that, it's impossible to buy the bottom and sell the top. It's just impossible. But the 21 is a very good indicator to keep you in use it as a trailing stop. Heath, I am long GRT against BTC, but considering cutting loose as its bullish structure seems to be breaking down. Can you please check GERT BTC? Yeah, let's go look at it. I know some people are looking at Graph token versus the dollar, but I haven't ever looked at, I typed in BTC. I mean USD. I need to type in BTC. I don't think I've ever looked at it versus Bitcoin. Let's see here. You didn't say which one, so let's go to Coinbase. There's not enough data on Coinbase. Let's get off the weekly. The weekly looks bullish. Here, let me get over here and go to this. Let's go to this. Let's go to Binance. More data at Binance. Oh, no, there's not. So back to Coinbase we do. All right, so you can see here the weekly. Yeah, it doesn't look good, right? Because you came off, 80%? 76%? But here's the thing. If it's a good asset, if the company is good and their technology they're building has potential, 80% off is a sale, right? You got to treat these things, these assets and jeans, like a pair of jeans, right? If it's 80% off and you're in the market to buy some jeans, wouldn't you like to buy them at 80% off? So did other people. Here's weekly resistance right there. You did get a break above, so now you're waiting on a weekly close to see where this week closes. You are testing support and the weekly 21 exponential moving average. Here you are on the daily. You are above the 50 on the RSI. Let's get it spread out so we can see. You are into resistance. I agree with you, right? But you took out this resistance. Let's get rid of those ugly EMAs. Damn it. You took out resistance to the upside, but just barely, and then you got rejection. So yeah, it depends on where you're long. If you're long at, say 1,500 Satoshis, I say you're good. Just hang on to it because there's support right below it. But if you bought it at 2,175 Satoshis, which you did say it was in a losing position, so yeah, I would probably cut my losses, my friend. Absolutely. Why sit in a loss, right? Why sit in a loss? You don't have to do that. You do not have to sit in a losing position. You can exit that at any time. I, myself, don't like to let any green trades turn red, ever. If I'm in a position and it's green and it's going my way, if it turns around and comes back up to my position, I will cut that thing like you can't even imagine. That quick. I will exit that position. Don't let a green trade turn red. Why do that? I don't understand what the concept is at. If you're in green and then it goes red, then that means you're on the wrong side of the position. Can it eventually turn around and put you back into the right side? Yeah. But why? Look for a better support level to look for potential longs. So you're testing support right now. Absolutely you are. So if you want to see if this thing holds support, you've already lost it on an hourly, but hourly support is just below it right there. So if you lose that 2016 Satoshis on an hourly closing basis, I would shed the position. It doesn't always mean that it's going to go lower though. Here was an hourly support. There was an hourly close below support. Boom, big bounce to the upside. So that could happen, right? That can happen. But yeah, if you're in a red position, just exit it. Just get out of it, right? Take the hit, take the loss, and then be more respectful of the charts next time. You're looking to buy supports in an uptrend. You're looking to sell resistances in a downtrend. If you do that, it'll make stuff a lot easier for you. I could see why you would have bought here, or I don't know exactly where you bought, but yeah, I would cut the position. Because if Bitcoin starts to rip, this thing's going to go lower. And if Bitcoin looks like it's about to start to rip, Bitcoin's green on the day, right? Bitcoin traded all the way down below this level here. That's a daily level. There's your break above, hourly resistance, hourly resistance. Break, close above. You're testing this as support right now, right? Right now, you're testing support to see if you want to go up to $50,259 because that's going to be your next level of resistance. There's really nothing here, right? You've already taken out resistance to the upside, so the next area of resistance is going to be $50,160. So there's a good chance you're going to trade up to there at least. But yeah, close your losing positions, Victor. Always. Yo, Heath from PKTR up. Aaron C with a super sticker again. Thank you, my friend. Or is it the same one? Oh, different one. Sorry. Matalia Stoza. Thank you so much for the super chat. And I apologize about the stream quality, guys. I beg an Elon, right? I guess I'm going to have to do something a little bit more extreme, like send someone to talk to him. Elon, send me my dish, bro. Elon, if you're listening to this stream, where's my dish? I've been waiting for months and months and months. All right, let's see here. Thanks for your explanation, says Mattias. Always, thank you for giving me a super chat. I appreciate it. And I'm not really sure what I explained. But awesome. Thank you. All right, so where are we at? Oh, goodness. What's going on? Vibration on my cell phone. Scared me. Super choppy. Yeah. Can I look at ADA USDT? Absolutely. Hang on just 1 second. Let me go look. We did look at pound yen for a brief moment. Let's look at USD yen, and then I will... where is USD yen? It's over on this side. Yeah. Looks bad. So this is yen strength coming back into the market, it looks like. So let's do this. So we got a 3-day Heath level right there, right? 3-day Heath level. This, I put this in after this wick, guys. All right. I seen this wick here and I was wondering what stopped price there. So when I see that, I just go into different time frames until I find out what it was. And it was here. 3-day Heath level right there. Boom, boom, and boom. So right now, you're red, and there's 1 day and 11 hours left on this candle. So chances are you've put in a high, right? Chances are you've put in a high. Would I short this thing? Probably not, because there's a bullish Heath level right below you, right there at 109.610. But that's on the 3-day. The 3 days in a midweek time frame. It's a great time frame to look at. It absolutely is. It looks bearish to me. It looks like it was trying to be bullish, but there's a lot of rejections up there. There's daily resistance. You're still green on the day, however. That counts for something. So this 3-day Heath level demand zone also happens to be daily. Right? Also happens to be daily. That's what we call confluence. So you're not looking to take a short unless you're looking to short it and aim for that level. How far away are you from it? You are real close. Let's see what it would be from there. 15 pips. So no. What I would want to see, though, if I was looking to short this, because here's hourly support down here. This is your daily demand zone, and it's also a 3-day demand zone. You can see how this thing has been holding support, right? So you're literally taking a short into support. But if it got back up to 109.769 and could not close above that, then I might take a short position with a very tight stop. So right there. My stop would be this bullish candle's high, 109.800. So if you trade back up to that, it would have to trade back up to that first and foremost before I even thinking about taking a short there. And I still wouldn't, right? I mean, potentially you can get a 20 pip trade out of this thing, maybe 25 pips down to those hourly lows over here, right? Yeah, 29 pips. It's just the risk to reward doesn't look that great. You're into support. Now, if you were trading up here, or watch 109.773. They're just that's where it would have to stop. If it gets a higher close on an hourly there, leave it alone. And pound yen, there you go. See, I just said watch this level here. Hourly close above 150 spot 518, and you're looking for shorts. Now, Michelle Family Randall asked me a question yesterday on the Patreon and channel members live stream that we do every Sunday. In the comment section, she asked me, do I wait for the retest or do I do the CTM entry? A CTM entry is when you find support or resistance and then you put in a new high, right? When you, like, for instance, what she's talking about is this candle right here is broken down through support. Here's the retest. Now, if this bullish candle's low gets taken out, that's when you take your short position, right? Do I do that? No, because I'm a scalper, so I'm trying to maximize my profits by giving myself the smallest stop loss possible with the biggest reward possible. So I will take these positions upon the touch of that level, but I have decent risk management. If you don't, I would not suggest you do that, right? If you don't have good risk management, then I would not suggest you do that. I would suggest you wait for the closure, right? But yeah, basically, if I have a perfect setup, then I will take it as soon as I get a touch of that level. I would put my stop above that wick high there, and is just to get a 2-to-1 position, you're looking at it, right? There's your low of day. Touch of that level, take a short position. Like if I were to do it now, take a short, boom, mark it in, put my stop at 156.13 for a low a day position. Would look something like this. Would it be a 2-to-1? Yes, it would. There's your 2-to-1 trade. All right? That's the only trade right now. So do you sell it right now and put your stop above that? You can. You can. This is not financial advice, but you can absolutely do that. Or you can wait for this close to make sure that it closes below that level, right? To make sure that it closes below that level. If you want to see what that would look like in real time, let's do this. Let's see here. Get out of my way. So risk 1%. How big is the stop? This is what a trade looks like in real time. 10 pips is my stop loss. Go right here and put 10 pips in. Let's go ahead and make it 11 to be safe to get us over that. Straight put in my position size. Hit your stop, measure out your stop, hit that, and then that's what you want to do right there. Boom. There's your position size calculated. Everything is ready to go. Right? There it is. See the spread? I'm trying to take entry at that level, but the spread puts me in down here. My stop is there. So that's at 11, 12, 13 pips. That's about the maximum I will go. It's 14.1 pips. The maximum I will go is 15 pips on a day trade. And then I'll be aiming for this low. Now, this doesn't look like, since the spread put me in way down here, that doesn't look like a 2-to-1 risk to reward anymore, does it? No, it doesn't. That's because it's not. That's because it's not. So that's the spread for you, right? Big spread on this thing right now. 5 pips. So yeah, the safest way though, Michelle, is to wait on closures. You got 45 minutes left on this candle's close. And the unfortunate thing about that though, is you're going to miss some day trades. For scalping, you're going to miss them if you wait on the closes sometimes. Because this candle can absolutely trade all the way back down here and close down here at 150, right? You don't know where it's going to close, ever. So I try to keep taking my positions, taking my entries right at the levels. This way I know I'm wrong. If I get an hourly close above that and it doesn't stop me out, I'll just exit the position, right? Just exit the position. Don't even hit the full stop. You didn't get what you wanted to see, so just let it go. And this way, at least you're in it. But I'm more risk. Like I have a riskier. Like I'm more risky than most people. Most people don't do that. My risk appetite's strong. I don't mind putting risk on. Absolutely not. But yeah, that's what you're looking for on pound yen. Yes, sir. F.D.A broke out. It's making new all-time highs. All-time highs, man. We were just talking about that this weekend. It looks like it's going to. There it is. Boom, boom. And see, this day here. Oh, sorry. This day here was trading up, and it looked like it was going to fail because there it goes. Boom, boom. Yeah, now you're into a short squeeze. Everybody got short, especially when it's seen 2 days of rejection. But here at Trade Talk, you would have known not to short that because you're closing right at the level. Chances are it's going to break, especially if you got momentum to the upside. Here you were. I mean, massive bearish divergence on this thing. So that's why they were shorting it, right? Here's your high down here. Here is your lower high on divergence. Plus there's an all-time high there with 2 daily closes below that level, that's all the patience retail has. I'm shorting that. It's bearish divergence, dude. Yeah, look what happened. Boom, boom. That's a short squeeze. So right now there's nothing to do on it. When it's in a short squeeze, there's nothing to do. Would I suggest just buying it? Not now, right? Maybe after you broke that, just for a quick scalp in and out for a breakout trade. I don't do breakout trades, but I wouldn't trade it now. It's so extended to the upside, and we don't know how much juice is left in this lemon to squeeze. We don't know how many more stops there are, right? It'll keep going for them. You're right at $3. Bigger firms will take big wide stops. So if there's any stop sitting at $3, yeah, you're going to see continuation, but it's impossible to know. It's definitely breaking out. If you're in it from down here or down here, congratulations. I definitely wouldn't buy it over all-time highs. All right, guys, I'm a little late to the party. Heath, can you take a look at USD CAD? Cheers. Absolutely. CAD is strong, and it was strong yesterday. Big, strong day. So you had a weak day on USD CAD, plus yesterday was weak on USD. So you had 2x weakness on this asset, essentially. Here is daily resistance, right? That's what kept price below it. You got well above it, though. You traded all the way up to this one even, and above it. So you didn't take out that wick high. So that's still a bearish or bullish target, as long as this thing can stay above the 50 on the daily closing basis. So next area of possible support is right where it is at 1.26047, which is just simply this old resistance level. Now this has been tested before. There was your break and close above. The next day you came in for that retest. That was the buying opportunity. Here's the retest. Once you broke out above resistance, here's your retest. Boom, straight up. Now it's coming back and it's testing it again after only 4 days. I don't know if I would buy this one, right? I don't know if I'd buy this one. If it keeps holding on a daily closing basis, then maybe. Watch it on an 8-hour. There's a lot of bearish momentum there, my friend. All right, on the hourly, looks ugly. It's consolidating is what it looks like. Not ugly. Yeah, it's consolidating on the daily too. It's been trading around this range for a couple weeks now. There was your break above resistance here. Then you went in for a test of support, and support held. Right, it didn't hold right at this resistance level, but it held at this bearish candle, which is good, right? That's a support test. That's a support hold. Here's the next day, traded well beneath it, but closed above it. It looks good. It's constructive, right? These are very tiny daily ranges. So you're looking for a breakout, and you're looking for a breakout pretty soon. Here is daily resistance right there. You're trading above it currently. Now, when we go into the hourly, this is going to look disgusting. It's going to be difficult to, analyze because of all of this. And it looks like it wants to break out. It does. I mean, some people are going to take a short here because you did take out support to the downside on an hourly. But this is the thing. The trend is your friend until the end of the trend. That is the slogan. It's old and it's cliched, but it means what it says. You took out support. If you were in a downtrend and you took out support, you would be looking to sell resistance, but you're in an uptrend. You're above the 50. Yes, you're losing momentum, but still, the fact remains the same. You're in an uptrend and you're above the 50. You're above all your moving averages, all of them. You are bullish. This thing is going to break out soon, more than likely. I wouldn't look for new bullish entries though. Your bullish entry would have been roughly around this hourly ETH level here, or this one down here. Right? That's where I would have looked for bullish entries. Something like that. So if it comes back down there again, then maybe make sure it holds $28.30. That's going to be your line in the sand for entries for today. Entries for tomorrow is a different story. But entries for today, you do not want to see an hourly close below that. Right here. You get an hourly close below $28.30, you're not looking for bullish entries. But you don't want to look for bullish entries right there in front of daily resistance. Nope, definitely don't. Polka dot, where you at, dot? At dot USD, this thing doesn't have much liquidity, but it still moves like the rest of them. I did not mean to hit the 12-hour. I want the daily. Looks like doing the same as Link, right? It's consolidating. It's putting in what looks like a bull flag. Here was daily resistance. There's your daily break and close above. Here's your test of your massive resistance level you got to get over. It's $28.98. That is a weekly resistance level, and it is also the daily resistance level put in after the capitulation bounce. So that's your dead cat bounce. You definitely need to get above that. You know how Bitcoin and other assets are above this level. This thing needs to get above it. And I'm assuming you're probably going to see that pretty soon. It is red on the day. So yeah, I'd probably be looking for bullish entries. And I would be targeting this wick high. Right there. Daily support is there. And you're right at it. So this is going to be another one of those where it's the daily ranges are so tiny. Right? It's going to be impossible to find decent areas to look for long positions. So this looks bad, right? Looks terrible. But it's all right. Till you take out, well, I would even say this swing here. Screw this one. This one. If you take out this swing low, then that'll take you out of daily support. You'll be back down below the breakout. I wouldn't be looking for bullish entries until you find clear area of support. So, yeah. I would say the entry on this was an hour ago for longs. And treat this the same exact way that I treat everything else. An hourly close below $27.45, I would be exiting that position. This is not financial advice. That's just what I would be doing if I took this position. But your entry was an hour ago. It was an hour ago. So now if you're looking for a new entry on DOT, you do not want to see hourly close below $27.53. Do not want to see that. If you get an hourly close below that, you're going to be closing pretty close to this or below it. The bulls are in control of this asset as well on the daily. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I'd be looking to buy it. You're above the, but it looks like it's trying to do a breakout. It can absolutely fail. I mean, this is the thing that there's no divergence. You're overbought. You're still overbought. You've had 3-4 days of pullback and you're still overbought. That's crazy. Pullback and you're still overbought. But this thing looks like it's about to cook. Looks like it's about to cook. Good morning, USD Yen. We looked at that, Danny. Hello, good morning, Heath. Yeah, we looked at that. Umar Aziz, good afternoon from Malaysia. Beautiful place. Good afternoon. Super choppy, all good, brother. Yeah, the stream is super choppy as well. Sorry about that. Fed in a sardine pickle sandwich definitely is. Some buffering, I mean, I just waited out, but those bounced will never have their own crap internet on their own island. Yeah. I mean, you can wait until if YouTube even is able to post it. Sometimes if they're so bad, they won't even post it. They'll be like, "Hey, we can't even make a decent video out of it. There's nothing I can do about it." We just looked at DOT. Wondering if you agree or not, but BTC USD on the daily looks like a shorter term time frame Wyckoff distribution. $29,000 roughly on the July 20th is analogous to roughly 20K in mid-December 2020. So Bitcoin USD on the daily looks like a shorter term time frame Wyckoff distribution. All right. So here's the thing about Wyckoff distribution. It's impossible to know if it's going on until it happens. That's the same with almost everything. You do have a high and then another high and then another insignificant high. I agree with you. Shorter term. Yeah. All right. But here's the thing. Here was your high, insignificant high. Here's your bearish candle. Note what happened here. What's the difference between this scenario and the scenario that happened before the 50% correction? I'm about to teach you. You held support. There's daily support right there. So 4 days you traded into support, you held. Now you've already broken out and you're testing resistance. This thing's about to push. All right, now let's go over here. Here's your high. Everybody calls it Wyckoff because Wyckoff put his name on this pattern. This pattern has been occurring since way before he ever wrote a book about it. All right, so he gets credit for it. It's a 3-drive topping formation. There's your high, insignificant high, another insignificant high. Here's your support put in. This is when you should have taken the position, when you took that out to the downside. Right? When you took that out to the downside. Or you could have done it better. You could have said, here is the low, swing low from that. Then here's your insignificant high. Once you got a daily closure below support, which you did right there, then you can look for shorts. And you would have got slaughtered. You would have took a position here, and you would have been all right. You would have been right. You might have took profits even, but the next day you got stopped out. Yeah, this was very tricky to trade right in here for anybody, right? For anybody. But that's the difference. That's the difference. High, high, high. This is support. Came in and broke it. That's a breach of support. So that tells you right there that you're looking for a lower high. On this, it's a smaller term, like you said, smaller time frame. High, high, and significant high. Here's support. So until you close below 44,352 on a daily closing basis, your thesis is incorrect, sir. All right? Your thesis will be incorrect. And you have to understand that also. You can't just keep taking shorts up here because you think your bias is correct. Your bias has been told. You've already been told. Not by me, by the chart. I didn't tell you. The chart told you. You're incorrect. Their support, it held 44,000. Now you've made a higher high. That's bullish, not bearish. So it may be, right? If you get a break below this swing low, then maybe your thesis comes back into play. But as of right now, no, you're wrong. ETH USD, please, thanks. Let me make sure I didn't skip anybody because the chat did. You're welcome, Michelle. My pleasure. What's up, Jay Bradley? .USD we looked at. USDZ. YoForex.com has terrible spread, 5 pips. Yeah. Yes, it does. Absolutely. And I even asked them, basically, I sent them an email. I said, look, I have a very small YouTube channel. So if you want me to keep trading with it, why don't you cut the spread down in half at least? They never responded. They never responded. Like, look at this guy, thinks he's got clout with us. So I just dump my money back into Oanda until I find a better broker. There's not much of a better broker than Oanda. You might find some smaller spreads on others, but you don't have to get a spread account. You can get an account where you pay fees instead, and then you'll get filled on the nearest bid or ask, right? But you pay commissions. So what you need to do is you need to figure out how much money you have, how much money you're going to be trading with, find out how much your commissions and fees are going to cost, and then weigh that with the spread. Will it be cheaper for you to have a ECN account, or will it be cheaper for you to have a spread account? That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Because depending on size and trade, how often you trade will determine your fees. All right, where was I at? ETH USD. All right, there we go. And this will probably have to be one of the last ones because I am looking to take a position. It is just Tuesday. I definitely want to get into a trade. Hopefully catch a weekly range expansion today. What's going on with pound yen? We'll look at that later. Well, I'll look at that in a second. All right, so ETH USD looks just like Bitcoin, and it did the same thing. It held daily support. It did close below this one, but this one stayed intact. And that's your lowest one, so that's the one you have to look at. Pardon these smaller lines. These are intraday levels that I was watching. All right, so here's the support test. People are looking at this saying it's going to be a head and shoulders. Well, right now, just executed right there. Boom. Trade was executed. Stopped out. So that's what you have to ask yourself. Are you willing to risk that? If not, then wait on the closes. But here you go. Right? You're testing resistance right now. Yesterday, you closed at resistance. You was all the way down here, 3 days ago. Now you're back up to resistance 4 days ago, back up into resistance today. You're probably going to break out, right? It's probably going to break out. It looks like it's trying to break out to me. It's bullish on everything, right? Every indicator in the world is saying that this thing is bullish. So, yeah, as long as it's bullish, just look for buying opportunities. Red candles are your friends in an uptrend, guys. Red candles are your friend in an uptrend. You're looking to buy those. Those are your entries. At support, though, daily support preferably. Daily support preferably. And one more, Ave for Michelle. And Aussie USD, and those will be the last two. Ave, USD. Let's look at it on the daily. Now, see, this one looks not as good, but it's in the same kind of situation. Massive resistance on this one's way up there. You took out this resistance to the upside on a daily closing basis. Then you came back down and held support, though. So it does look like it was trying to be a trap. And it's trading at that right there. So this is what's keeping this thing down. You need to get a closure above that daily Heath level right there at 410 spot 42. That's your supply zone. That's what's stopping these bullish candles. So here's the thing, Michelle. If you think this is going to break out, it's at a pretty good spot for entry. What do I mean by that? Well, there's your open. There's yesterday's open. So watch yesterday's open on a daily closing basis. I mean an hourly. If you close an hourly below 401.17, leave it alone. If you trade down like this thing did and close back above it, which might not be the case. It does look droopy intraday, right? So see if it holds at 401 here. If you lose this on an hourly closing basis, scrap it. If it doesn't, if it holds, here's hourly support at 402. You can probably look for bullish entries targeting yesterday's high. You could probably look for bullish entries targeting yesterday's high. If Bitcoin starts to rip, if it starts to break out, this thing's going to go with it. It might not go with it as strong and as fast, but it's likely to turn around. So the fact that we just got stopped out on this is probably just a stop run. I generally like to take my positions from 7 to 9 in the morning. That's my sweet spot. We are a little bit before that, so we will see. You're testing an hourly Heath level now. This doji's up here, but let's see. Right here is old resistance. So as long as you're not closing an hourly back above 157.21, this thing still looks good for a short, and I'll prove it. There is your London session high of day. Here is your fib retracement tool from low of day from high of day to low of day. There's the 618 right there. So this is probably the best entry, actually, as that makes the risk to reward a lot better. So if I was going to take this trade, I would probably look to taking it at 157.21. Even though I just got stopped out, but I was just making an example earlier. This is better. It makes the risk to reward better. Hourly closure above resistance, you're not looking for that because you've already taken out support to the downside. Already. You were above resistance earlier and you failed. The risk is to the downside. This is probably a pretty good position. For you Trade Talk Discorders listening, just keep an eye on this thing, 157.21. It is setting up right now. All right, guys. And what was the last one? Because I got distracted, but I said I would look for one more. Ave and Aussie USD 4 hour. Yeah, and this will be the last one. AUD USD 4 hour. Oh, and big strong bullish candle. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Looks like some of these things are becoming quite bullish, quite fast. Aussie USD is getting some strength. Aussie USD's, if you're looking for intraday opportunities, there's nothing on it. If you're looking for longer opportunities, you need to wait for it to find resistance. As of right now, it's moving up. It is moving on up. Here's going to be an area you don't want to see it, a 4 hour close below. 72.104. Right? If you come back down and check that level, you definitely want to see it bounce from there. Will you come back down and check that level? Probably not. Not if it's going to continue to be bullish. You're into this 4 hour swing low, so that can act as resistance. And then here is your Heath level, 72524. So right there, those are two potential resistance levels. But if it's going to remain strong, then it's probably going to blast right through them. Swing high 7260, and that'll put that would be a nice size bullish candle. That'll take you above, well, up to there. Yeah, so that'd be a pretty good size range on the day already. I wouldn't be looking for much more than that. Would not be looking for much more than that. If you've already got a pretty big range on the day, chances are, yeah, you might get a little bit more, but not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Alright guys, so unfortunately I apologize one more time for the internet connection. There's nothing I can do about that. But for you that stayed and stuck it out with me, thank you so much for that. I have to say thank you to my channel members and Patreons for the respect and that they show to me. I really appreciate you guys more than anything. Watch Pound Yen. It looks like it's trying to set up for a short on the day. If everything gets really bullish really quick though, watch that hourly closure at the 618. The hourly level though, not the 618. Watch the hourly level. An hourly close above that, then leave the trade alone. Leave the trade alone. I've seen these things set up as late as 9 o'clock in the last couple weeks. So yeah, but it looks like my favorite as of right now. But I haven't looked at much other pairs yet. I was working on the thumbnail and the metadata for YouTube. So you guys have a fantastic day. Make sure you trade safe, trade smart. Happy trading, everybody.